Dear students, good morning. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 2nd January 2018. The first article, 1.9 crore names in first draft of Assam National Register for Citizens. This National Register for Citizens has come up in Assam in 1951 and it is being revised now under the supervision of the Supreme Court. The roots of this revision lie in Assam Accord, which is signed in 1985 when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. According to the Assam Accord, the people are immigrants from Bangladesh who has come into India after March 24th, 1971. They shall be deported back. So, the entire process is to identify the people who have come into India after March 24th, 1971. In this context, one of the recent initiative of the government, that is Citizenship Amendment Bill, also need to be discussed. According to this, any of the Hindus who are facing persecution in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, these can come to India and the citizenship acquiring process is relaxed for them. So, in Assam Students Union, which has transformed itself as AGP, it is worried about this. It means if Hindu illegal immigrants from Bangladesh, they come to India even after 1971, they can be declared as citizens of India because if they are treated as people who are facing persecution in their country or who are being treated as victims of persecution. So, this is what is being opposed now in Assam. These are the 3 points we need to understand. The secular condition, this is what is the article. Now, Preamble of India, of the Constitution of India, states that India is a secular nation. So, the secular character of India, it has come from 42nd Amendment Act into the preamble. So, understand carefully here. The secular character is embedded in Indian constitution from very beginning in various provisions in fundamental rights. But however, the word secularism has come into constitutional preamble only through the 42nd Amendment Act. Now, there are two aspects to it which we have to discuss. Why the secularism was not initially included in the preamble. Second aspect is the present discussion on secularism, is it valid? The third point is Indian secularism and Western secularism, how they are different from each other, why this difference has come up in. Is secularism of India is of its own kind? Is it called as sui generis? These are the issues which we have to discuss. Remember, when secularism was not introduced in preamble, there was a reason. Ambedkar has clearly stated that the entire body of the constitution is entitled towards secularism or is meant to promote secularism in the country. As we are talking about freedom of religion, equality, freedom of speech, then obviously integral to this is secularism. Without secularism, these things are not possible in our constitution. That is the reason why it need not be explicitly stated in the preamble. Now, socialism was also not stated in preamble in the original constitution, and Ambedkar has stated that the present body of constitution or present constitution assembly may feel socialism is necessary. We cannot dictate the same thing for the future generations. So there is a valid reason why it was not included then in preamble, because the socialism and secular characteristics of Indian constitution were there in the body of the constitution itself. And second thing is Indian secularism and Western secularism are different from each other? Yes, Indian secularism has its origins on its soil. Sarva Dharma Sambhava. Now, if you take K.M. Munshi, he has clearly stated that Indian citizens have their roots in religion. They are deeply religious. Separating religion completely from the state is not possible in India. So that's where comes Sarva Dharma Sambhava. So the state has to treat all the religions equally. So if we go further, Rajiv Bhargava, what he says is, the state has to maintain a principal distance from all the religions. Now, the state can interfere with the religious matters if it is necessary to uphold the values of equality, freedom, etc. So, the state cannot discriminate the religions. Our state cannot hold one religion against the other or prefer one religion to the other. But state can take away the evils of the religion if necessary. That's what Mr. Raju Bhargava has spoken about. So, my take home point is this: Indian secularism is of its own kind. It is necessary to hold the society and communities of India together. So, if any tinkering of Indian secularism happens, that can lead to dissociation and a kind of intolerance across the communities in the country. And then the star turn. This is about Rajnikant's entry into the politics. Now, Rajnikant, a matinee idol in Tamil Nadu, has announced his entry into politics. But understand, any political party has to be driven by a vision and ideology. As of now, no such ideology or vision is articulated. The money trail, it is about cryptocurrencies. You know, the cryptocurrencies, bitcoins, they have grew by more than 1000%. And there are many new cryptocurrencies are coming up. These cryptocurrencies are based on blockchain technology. If this blockchain technology is effectively used, the payment systems in the country and across the world can be improved. But if you see the cryptocurrencies per se, their growth comes from their anonymity. But no state can allow for the anonymity of the use of currency. So, in recently in the US, a court has ordered for declaration of these people or their names to the Internal Revenue Service for tax purposes. So, obviously, regulation is expected to come on these cryptocurrencies. And second is there is a huge speculation on the currencies. The major reason is, but it is going to be a short term run for the following reasons. Any currency has to be a medium of exchange. Cryptocurrencies as medium of exchange is not yet accepted across the world. And second is, the store of value shall be based on underlying assets, but there are no underlying assets over here. So that's why the speculation of cryptocurrencies will be in a short run. That's what this article talks about. The ethics of excellence. So, is India a country of mediocrity? This is what is the question. So, ethics of excellence talks about nurturing excellence irrespective of one's own interests. In Indian academic institutions, factionalism and lack of innovation, office politics or academic politics, all these are cutting short the necessary excellence which shall be a driving force for the country. That's what this article talks about. Right, sorry. Now, coming to the open-ed. Seize the Asian century. Before going into this article, understand, in 1990s, free trade was promoted by the West. Now, because of this free trade, a lot of wealth is created. It is not just in the East, wealth is also created in the West. But the economic growth is remarkable in China and India. Inequalities have increased, but there is a positive to it. Most of the people, more than 50% of the population, is thrown out of poverty, and inequalities have reduced. The thrown out of the poverty because of this. But it has come at a cost of inequality. And second aspect, because of this open world, what has increased is this: not only the free trade and free movement of people, but also free movement of finance and investments. This movement of finance and investment has increased the wealth in West. So that's why globalization for sure has created wealth along with inequalities, and also it has reduced the poverty in developing countries and provided prosperity in the West, especially due to the movement of investment. Now, if we carefully observe what is the way forward for India as protectionism is increasing. One, India has never believed in export-led growth, but Chinese economy is changing. Previously, China was an export driven growth. Now it is more becoming a consumption driven growth. They want to increase the internal consumption, internal demand, rather than solely depending upon the external demand. So that is going to be an opportunity for India to push its exports. And second, the biggest challenge for this push to exports is going to come from Southeast Asian countries. Already we saw this in the context of textiles. Thailand, Vietnam, Bangladesh, these are becoming competitors to India with regard to the export of textiles. And second aspect is, if its Asian century has to be made, it shall be with the cooperation among the Asian countries. So BBIN, BIMSTEC, all these have to come together towards promoting interstate trade. Rather than focusing on military conflicts, defense build-ups, these countries have to focus on economic growth. That's what is the emphasis of this article is. Unseemly haste. This is about Triple Talaq Bill. Internal contradictions related to Triple Talaq Bill. So you already know this article. Supreme Court has stated a triple talaq is bad in law. As it is bad in law, it is invalid. Now, it is going to make a criminal offense. As triple talaq is not going to invalidate a marriage now, how can the issues of protection of minority children, payment of compensation to the wife, and criminality, these will come up? That's what is the question this article is posing again. Now, coming to the news page, NRC wins consensus but not citizenship bill. Already we have discussed this citizenship bill. So what is feared in Assam is the citizenship amendment bill can legitimize illegal Bangladeshi Hindu immigrants into Assam. That is what is feared by Assam people. So one register to count them all. So this is what is the Supreme Court, the explanation already is given, which is there over here. Real Estate Act yet to show teeth. As per Real Estate Act, every state has to create a real estate regulatory authority. Every property that is going to be developed, a project has to be registered with RERA. But many of the states did not constitute RERA yet. So that's why Real Estate Regulatory Authority is yet to show its teeth on ground. That's what this article says. 3,143 court halls coming up. In speeding up judiciary, the number of courts and fast track courts are being improved. That is what the Chief Justice of India is stating. Now, Kim issues threat to US, offers olive branch to South Korea. So this is what is continuing, eternally continuing. You don't need to worry about this. US drastically cut aid to Pakistan in the Obama years. So understand, President Trump has made a comment, a tweet in it, that US is unnecessarily giving aid to Pakistan and Pakistan is not reciprocating by taking actions on the terror hideouts. So the terrorism emanating from the Pakistan again is becoming a global news. So that's why we need to watch this. So these are the news for today. Today I did not upload the notes yet. I will do it to you by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Thank you very much and all the best.